host, Sean John. What is up? I got a few minutes, just want to spend a little time with you. Uh, so, as you guys go into the busiest part of the year, for a lot of you, you're going to make a lot of money. But for some of you, you're not going to make as much as you can make and should be making because why? You're not in position to get the business. I was thinking the other day because to me, advertising, marketing, branding, followed by sales, is the most important part of your business. Because you can fail at some things or not be great at some things and still be successful. But there are some things that you cannot afford to not be good enough at, right? Like marketing. You could be great in customer service or customer experience or customer amazement. But if you're not good at marketing and branding, that won't matter because no one's going to know you exist. No one's going to find you. No one's going to know how to find you. That's why whenever I'm doing a coaching session or I'm doing a training or I'm someone's mentor in the moving business, I'm heavy on the first thing I'm teaching you is how to generate calls, how to generate premium leads, how to get the right customers who need you to find you, to locate you, and to reach out to you. One big tip I'll give you, a lot of you guys make this mistake. I would encourage you to stop doing this, never make this mistake again. What is that? Whenever you launch and advertise your business to the public, one of the errors that you guys make, guess what? You always, on your advertising, you always list your website. You always do. How do I know? Because I did this in the beginning, right? You always list your website. And this gets you in trouble. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could listing my website get me into trouble? But I'm telling you, it's something that could get you into trouble because of this. It's an extra step. Okay, what do you mean by that? Glad you asked. All right, so if you're a customer and you're looking for a particular service and you see the advertisement somewhere, right? You just somehow, some way happen to come across it. And you know you need the service, so it catches your attention. Jumping jack movers, bam, got your attention. You need the service, you want to connect. Or at least you want to reach out. Right? You want to have some contact. You want to follow through. And as soon as I see your name, I know what you do. And I always tell you guys this. Stop naming your business after you. You don't want to be the brand. Nobody's going to tell you this on YouTube, so I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it 100, 1,000, whatever you want to hear. Right? Stop naming your business after you. Why? Because you don't want to be the brand. You want to build a business. You want to build a business that ultimately works, survives, and thrives without you. The goal is for you to build $1 million business per year that runs without you. The business does not care if you show up. It does not care if you go to work. It does not care if you take a vacation, go to the beach. I'm going to the beach this weekend with my family. We're going to have a good time. My business is still going to roll on. You got to build a business. Think of it like this. When you build your business, design your business, build your business in a way that if you want to take a month off, it does not matter. Your business is still going to make money, still going to be successful. Drop a thumbs up, hit subscribe if this is good information. A lot of you are stuck. Why? Because you're in the small business rut. You're in the small business, how can I say it? Treadmill. You're on the small business treadmill. What does that mean, Sean? That means this. No matter how much spinning and kicking and running you do, you're not going anywhere. You could put that thing on 10 miles an hour. You could put it on 20 miles an hour and run as fast as your little heart and your little legs can carry you. But as soon as you turn it off and stop it and get down off the treadmill, I guarantee you'll be in the same position you started in. You'll be in the same room, in the same corner you started in. You ain't going nowhere. Bad grammar, good teaching. You ain't going nowhere because you can't go anywhere. Drop a comment if you have it. I'm not going to be on here super long. I just wanted to spend some time with you this morning talking about it. Drop a comment. If I see it, I'll get to it and try to respond if you have a quick question. But again, if you're out there and you're doing the work, that's fine. I applaud you, because the first move to success is to do something. It's not to figure things out. People always think you got to have it together before you're successful. No, success to me is progress. It's not an end goal. To me, if you start a business, you're successful. Well, Sean, my business is struggling, man. I don't know this. I don't know. I know I got you. And you can learn all of those things. In fact, you can get a coach, you can get a mentor, and I or someone else can teach you. It doesn't even matter if you come through me. I don't care. But somebody can teach you what you don't know, and you are successful from day one when you make that first move. When you set up that LLC, when you get that first call, you're already successful. Now, there's different levels of success, yes, but you are successful because you've already made the move. So what, you're not $1 million in your first year? Hardly anyone is. Don't worry about that. That's not going to rate whether you're successful or not. What's going to rank in whether you're successful or not is, are you committed to this process? Are you going to keep pushing through? Are you going to endure? Are you going to persist? And do you know what you want your business to look like in 3 to 5 years? If you don't know, if you're sitting here and you're listening to this call right now, and you don't know what you want your business to look like in 3 to 5 years, I'm telling you, number one, you're thinking small, too small, because you're talking about building a business here. And number two, you're not going to be in business very long. How do I know this? Because you can't see the future. You don't have vision. You must have vision in entrepreneurship, whether it's in moving, trucking, I don't care what it is. You have to have vision. You have to be able to see the future. You have to know, where do I want to go? What do I want my business to look like? What is the goal for now? And it doesn't have to be the end goal. I hate that term. What do you want for now? In the next, just time your goals. So instead of like, my end goal is $1 million, your business may want to make 10 million a year in 5 years. So don't say that. Don't limit yourself. That's limited speaking. Don't say that. Erase that from your subconscious. Reprogram yourself. In fact, here's what you say from now on. Free advice. And this is what my students get. This is what we go through in coaching. Cancel all that. Don't say that again. Here's what you say from now on. In the next 6 months, here's where I want my business to be. In the next 18 months, here's where I want my business to be. In the next 36 months or 3 years, here's what I want my business to look like. In the next 5 years, we need to be at $2.5 million a year. See, that's vision. That's clarity. And that's why most small businesses stay small. If the smaller you stay, the longer you stay, or I should say it this way, the longer you stay small, or more importantly, the longer you think small, the faster you're going to be out of business. I guarantee it. I'll bet on you going out of business very quickly as soon as I look at what your vision is for your business. What are you thinking about, man? How far are you thinking ahead? We just want to make, 10,000 this month. Okay, yeah, you probably won't be around a year from now because you're not thinking about the long term, right? Hit a thumbs up if this makes sense. If this is any value to you, let me know. Hit a thumbs up, hit subscribe. Welcome to the channel. But again, grow your business. Think about your business long term. Stop giving yourself, end goals. Stop saying that. There's no such thing as an end goal. You want to produce as much fruit as you possibly can. It doesn't matter if it's a year. It doesn't matter if it's 10. You're building this business. Listen, building a moving business is hard. It's not easy. You're building this business not to just walk away from it and give up. No, you're building this business because long after you're gone, this business can take care of your family. Listen, AI can't replace labor. I'll say it again. AI cannot replace labor. I'll give you something else. Your business is recession proof. Why? Because it's labor intensive. The people that need to move are not moving themselves. I'm here in Dallas, Texas. There are so many moves going on here. People can't even They won't even move themselves. There aren't even trucks available. Moving companies, 6, 7 jobs a day. Guys that I work with 2 trucks here in Dallas, looking to buy new trucks. So Chris says we need to connect. This moving season needs to be legendary, and I need the process and KPIs to be solid. Absolutely. And Chris, you're on point, man. So I'll drop just for you, man. I'll drop a link to you, and also in the comments below. I don't know when this video is going to post. I'm going to drop a link for you though, where you can get into the masterclass, because I'm changing things up with the masterclass. The masterclass is awesome. I gave you so much content. Who else is out here giving you the real game on the moving side? I'm not out here lying to you, fluffing you up. We're going to cut the fluff. We're not going to talk about, hey, you'll be $1 million overnight. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been through the same process you've been through. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you, hey, if you take these steps, you can have as much success as possible. How much success you want? As much as possible. How many trucks you want? As many as possible. How many employees you want? As many as possible. How many franchises you want around your state and around the country? As many as possible. That's all you say from now on. As many as possible. We're not limiting anything. We're here to put in the work, and the results going to show up, because the work's going to be put in. The work's going to be proof that the results. How many people know that results are guaranteed? Do you know results are predictable? I bet most people don't know that results are 100%, not 99%, are 100% predictable. How do we know? Because the only thing the results are contingent on is whether or not you do the work. Does that make sense? Drop a thumbs up if that makes sense. If you put in the work and you want to lose weight, you eat better, you work out, does the weight decide, nah, I'm still not coming off? No, the weight comes off. And we look at you and go, man, you're getting in shape. You look great. Why? Because you put in the work. In fact, I already expected the weight to come off of you because I saw you putting in the work in the process. I don't need to check with you. I know what you're going to look like a month from now. I see the work being done. So the same thing happens in the career industry, in the moving industry, and so many other industries. You put in that work, the results are guaranteed, right? Chris says, let's do it. Can't wait to connect. New business here, started last year. I own 3 trucks. Wow. 3 trucks in a year. That's really, really good. Already $60K a month, but getting burned on doing everything myself. Yeah. So Chris, welcome to the club, buddy. I did that in 2017. Whenever I started my business, I was straight homeless. I had no idea what I was doing. I had nobody to help me. You know what? I always think about this. How hard it was when I started my business. I was losing money, breaking stuff. I had customers crying because we damaged stuff. I had checks that bounced. I had jobs where I didn't even get paid, and I had to pay guys, and I made no money. In fact, I lost money. I had jobs where my guys weren't showing up. I had jobs where I go to rent a U-Haul and there's no U-Haul. I had nightmares. You know what I wish I had back then? I wish I had someone who was either creating content or doing coaching or mentoring in the moving business. This was 2017. There was nobody out there that could give me a shortcut. Thinking back, you know what my company would have been worth way faster if I would have had a shortcut? Oh my gosh. I wouldn't have made those mistakes. I would have went right to the shortcut and said, hey, what can I pay you to get all that information in your head? How much knowledge you got? Okay, what can I give you in exchange for that knowledge so I can speed up my process and not make the mistakes that I've made or the mistakes that you've made? I'll pay for your wisdom. And so for those of you that don't know, I also have a second company, and I have mentoring. I'm telling you that I'll spend every dime to get a mentor. I am not missing and making the mistake I made learning this business, but that's good for you guys because now I can share, hey, Chris, don't do this. Hey, don't do this. You're making a mistake, don't do that, right? That's going to save you some money. Don't do that. You're hiring the wrong way. Your process is broken. Remember what I say. If for every problem, there's a what? There's a process. My students know it, right? They know that by heart. As soon as they call me and like, hey, man, I got an issue. No. You don't have an issue with such and such. You have it. Let's walk back your process. One of my guys hit me up. He was like, man, my guys keep leaving tools, like equipment, $100 worth of tools in customers' homes. And it's so far away, we can't even get back out there. And I'm like, so whose fault is it? It's like, well, my guys, obviously. Okay. Or let's talk about it. Let's break it down. This is really how I talk with my coaching because because we don't have to be fancy. We're trying to get your business right. That's all I want to do. I want to get your business right. So, hey, let's break down this process. So I said, hey, all right, so let's talk about your process. He was like, what process? I was like, when the guys are finished with the job, there's several steps they have to complete before they exit a home, right? To exit, there's like an exit process, right? You can't just walk out of the house. There's some things you gotta go down a list. There's a checklist of things that have to be done and finish before you start the truck, right? And leave. You can't just jump in and leave. That's negligent. So what's the process? How did tools get left behind? It's the tools got to be on a checklist, right? Where we say make sure we have equipment and tools, right? It's like I don't think I have, but I mentioned it. No. You're not running a daycare. You're running a business. You want them to think for themselves? No, you're running a business. You don't want them thinking for themselves. Not saying that they can't. Not saying they're incapable. I'm just telling you, when you're running a business, you better do all the thinking for your business, for your employees. Don't let them think for yourself. That right there is worth a thumbs up. What I just said. Don't let them do the thinking for themselves. You think for them using paper to manage the jobs. Did I bless you? I think I did. So I got to jump off. I got some things I got to do, guys. If you want me to come back on more often, hit thumbs up. That way I would know you guys want more. Chris says, let's do it. Can't wait. New business. Chris said he's getting burned out. Chris, I really didn't get to address the burning out part for you. But I'll tell you this. Essentially, you're Tyler Perry. If you know who Tyler Perry is, right? So what does that mean? That means you're Medea. You're the uncle. You're Tyler Perry. You're the writer. You're the producer. You're the cameraman. You're everything. Everything. You've been in business a year. You should not be everything. There's a process to get a person out of that. So essentially what you've created, even though you're profitable, you've created a job. And that job's going to burn you out because now you work for the worst boss possible, yourself. Right? Now you work for yourself and you got to take your boss everywhere you go. You take your job home, you take it to work, you take it everywhere you go. You and your boss, you can't separate. So what you have to do is build your business in a way that it operates without you. So you're talking about scaling your business, what you're talking about, because you've essentially created a job. It pays well, yes, but the money's not going to matter at some point. The burnout is. Here's why I say that, and I'll leave you with this. There was a year, I remember this, when I first started, it was like I started in 2017 in Baton Rouge when I was homeless. My business is now here in Dallas. And people say, how'd you start when you was homeless? Well, Craigslist was free. I just ran an ad for free. Somebody emailed me. I went to their house and made money. That's how I started. They were like, hey, we need some help loading up some boxes. Bet. Send me the address. I'll be there. And I caught like city transportation. The bus went right there and I think I made like $40 that day. And that started. Then I ran another ad and eventually I bought a phone and I kept going. And until I grew. But you don't want to go that way. That's a hard way. And I wanted to quit so many times, but the reason I didn't have anything else. I had no education. I had 2 kids. I had to keep income coming in. And then eventually I got blessed with like a $10,000 job. I didn't even know what to price the job. Luckily, the customer had called around and already had some quotes. And he told me, he was like, hey, if you can get me to California and to Los Angeles for less than $10,000. I was like, what? $10,000? That's a deal. I didn't have a truck. I didn't have a crew. I didn't even have a driver's license. You got to watch another video to get that story. It's hilarious. But I made $10,000 and that changed my whole move. Chris says, 8 months in business, 1,000% agree. So Chris, you're Tyler Perry, but don't beat yourself up about that. 99% of small businesses are in the same position because they always think like technicians. They say, hey, I can do the work. And so they start a business because they could do the work, not understanding that I don't want you to think like an employee. I want you to think like a CEO. Does that make sense? So I'll teach you how to think like a CEO, where you can do things like I do, where I'm out shopping. What am I doing? It's like, I don't know, what's it? 9, almost 10 o'clock here in Dallas. I'm about to go in here and try to find a basketball because I want to shoot basketball today. I'm not even in my work uniform and the business is still running. That's the good part. And had I not learned how to do this, somebody taught me this, so I teach it to other people. I'm not some genius. I learned this stuff too, right? And like my grandma used to say, I want to learn you, okay? I want to learn you to learn this, right? And so, but essentially, you've created a job, which is fine, man. Don't beat yourself up. You just have to learn how to scale it in a way that it does not require you to do everything. So, what I teach you to do is to let's look at your business layout. Let's break down these levels of management, right? And then let's go through them. Let's identify them. Who does this? Where's that? What role you playing here? And then slowly we start taking off hats, because you're wearing too many hats. It's gonna burn you out. So last story, I was laying in the bed one morning. It's probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock when I was living in Baton Rouge, because I moved here in 2019. But I made so much money in Baton Rouge, it was unbelievable. I never knew the money would come that fast. And I had at the cap, I had about five trucks. And so, by the way, a big lesson I learned: never take your own personal trucks out of town. Rent trucks. I don't care if you lose money on your profit. Rent the trucks. Why? Because if a truck breaks down out of town with a customer's furniture, you don't want to be responsible. If a truck gets into an accident, you don't want to be responsible. If you rent a Penske truck on an out of town job, they're going to come replace their truck. I know, I went through it. Right? It's not going to cost you anything to tow. That's on them. So always rent trucks on long distance. You don't want to put that wear and tear or the liabilities on your own truck. Keep your trucks local. I just gave you a nugget right there. Hit thumbs up for that. Also, and by the way, I'm going to put the, I don't know when this is going to drop, guys, but I'm going to put, make sure I put the information in there so that, let me see. So if you guys go to the moving, let me see. So whenever this is over, I'll just put the, I'll hit you guys up and put the information in there so you can get the masterclass. In fact, if you don't want to wait for this video to drop, because I'm new to this, I know sometimes they don't drop as soon as I finish this. This thing may drop tomorrow. I don't even know. Still learning YouTube. That's not what I'm good at. I'm good at business. In fact, I'm great at it. So in fact, I think I've gotten to the point where now people are reaching out to me from other companies, from other businesses, industries that I barely know anything about, but I do know how to sell and how to get conversions, how to get marketing done. Because if your phone ain't ringing, your bank account ain't singing. That's what I always say, right? If them wheels ain't spinning, you ain't winning. So if your truck, I don't care how many trucks you got, if them wheels ain't turning, your pockets ain't burning. So if it's sitting there, it's dead money. You're just watching dead money in your parking lot. You don't want to do that, and you got to learn how to market, brand your company, and get the leads, right? So, Chris, let's see. I haven't done them in a while, man, but I'll reach out to you. Chris, real quick, man. What's your email address? I'll reach out to you real quick. Put it there because I'm about to get off. Put your email address down at the bottom, and I'll go ahead and make a note of it. And then either I'll reach out to you or my assistant, Cynthia at the office, is going to reach out to you. So, but I like being out of the office, man, because I feel like, man, I put in so much work. I've done all this, and yeah, I got you, Chris. Go ahead, drop your email address. But I've done all this, and I'm sitting there like, man, you know what? I've done the hard part. Why not just enjoy life? Why not hit my family up and be like, hey, let's hit the beach this weekend? Where my wife doesn't have to say, well, how many days? You ain't got to work. We could go for a week. I don't care. Now we got two young kids, a 3-year-old and a newborn, literally like 2 months. So we can't run around as much as we want to, but we really want to move around. So, and by the way, if you guys are moving to Texas, if ever thinking about like staying busy, Texas is unbelievable. Always busy. These guys don't have enough crews. So, but I was going to say this, and Chris, go ahead, drop your email address, man. I'll hit you up. And so I was going to say this, guys, just to give you that last that last little bit, and talking to you about the difference between having a legit business and the difference between creating a job for yourself. Again, don't kick yourself if you have a job. You're doing great. You're successful. I just want to teach you how to turn it into a business so you don't have to do all the stuff you do now. That stuff's going to lead to burnout. Can I say it again? That stuff's going to lead to burnout. Well, we're making so much money. I don't care. Burnout don't care about how much money you're making. It does not care. I was laying in the bed one time and I got a phone call. And this guy reached out to me and he was like, hey, I have a baby grand piano. We're doing some floors in the house. All I want to do is move it from one room to the other. No joke. And I'm sitting there. This is a crazy story. This is true. God honest truth. And I'm sitting there. I'm laying in the bed and I'm like, man, I worked so long yesterday. I'm so tired, so exhausted that I don't even want to like reach out to this guy. But I got a crew. We're off today, but I'm so tired that because I worked so much the day before, because I thought I created a business, I created a job. I'm so burned out that I said, all right, I'm going to tell this guy a stupid price so he can not call me again. I don't even want his money. I just want him to leave me alone. That's when you know burnout is real. When you're sitting there going, I don't want your money. Well, I'm offering you this. I don't care. So I told this guy, I said, hey, yeah, I can get a couple guys. We come out and move it, no problem. But it's going to be $600. He said, $600 to move it from one room to the other? I said, yes, sir. He said, what time can you get here? I was like, oh my God. I first of all, I quoted too low to somebody who got money. This guy's breaded and I didn't know. And I should have thought about it because he said a baby grand. But this was early in my moving career. And I was sitting there, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And so I was like, hey, let me call you back, see if I have anybody. And I turned the phone off, the ring off and everything, and went to sleep. This guy was willing to give me $600 just to move a baby grand from one room to the other. And I was so tired, so worn out, because I created a job and not a business, that I did not want his money. I just wanted to be left alone. Think of that. Here's another true story. I thought about this one. You guys probably been through this. I had a couple of people. I could really come on here and share moving stories. If you want to hear moving stories, smash thumbs up. If you just want to hear moving stories about some stuff I've been through starting out, it's probably gonna make you laugh. Me and a guy, me and one of my good friends who's a mentor, he helped me early one morning, like 8 o'clock, do a job that was on the 3rd floor, like a 2-bedroom, right? And so I'm up and down the stairs, hustling, bustling, getting this done, because I got another job that comes up as soon as I finish this one. But my guy, my mentor, is like 50, so he's not gonna keep going up and down these stairs. So he just helped me for the first job because I didn't have anybody to show up. And so we're sitting there, and now I'm thinking, all right, my guy's burned out. I'm tired, but that's okay. We'll finish this because I got a new crew that's coming to do the next job. Guess what? One person show up for the next job. This is how I started learning how to hire and who not to hire and what to look for, right? Because there's no exact science, but there are filters that you can use to get the right people. And so what happened is I was like, all right, I'm going to go and start the job, hoping somebody come up. Nobody showed up, y'all. So I stayed out there from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock that night, 8 a.m. to 9 o'clock that night. You know what I told the lady? Listen, y'all gonna laugh at this because y'all know I'm telling the truth. You know I've been out there and I know what I'm talking about. One of my students said, Sean, the reason I enrolled in your course and got your class, bro, is because as soon as you start talking about things that was happening when you started, he said, man, the stuff you're talking about is stuff we go through now. And I knew the only way you can know that stuff is you had to have been out there at some point. And I said, man, I tell y'all all the time, everything you're trying to do, I've already been through that. And even worse. So why make the mistakes I made? I'm telling you, the bridge is out. Why are you still driving this way? Switch lanes. Take the exit. Go the other way. Do the smart thing. Get coaching. Get mentorship. You get it from me? That's fine. You get it from somebody else? That's fine. I don't care. I just want you to learn so you can have the best business possible. Right? And so what happened is this guy, and Chris, by the way, you can email me If you want to go ahead and email me, service@jumpingjackmovers.com. So service@jumpingjackmovers.com. If any of you guys want to reach me right now about mentorship and coaching, please do it right now. I'm very limited on what I can do and how many people I can deal with, so reach out ASAP. I said I was going to limit the amount of people I'm doing each month because it's really been busy and I want to travel more. But I don't mind. Here's the good part about me, man. When I coach you and mentor you, you get my phone number. All I ask is you don't share it with other people, but you could always text me or call me, because I ain't just doing this to blow smoke in your face or waste time. I really want to see you succeed. So the guys that I coach and mentor, they reach out to me all the time. Like, man, I got this issue. Talk to me about it. If I can't do it now, I'll be like, man, give me a second. Let me think about it, and then I'll get back to you. Because for me, the coaching never ends. We become friends. I love the business. You guys love the business. I love talking. I love teaching it. And anything I can share at any point, I'm always there for it. So service@jumpingjackmovers.com. If that's how you want, if you're interested in coaching, then message me on there right now. I'll be back at the office probably in the next hour or so. But if I don't get it, my assistant's going to get it and reach out to you. But do it if you're serious. Now, if you're not serious about your business, again, I'm not talking to you. I'm only talking to people that want to create wealth for themselves and for their families and eventually get freedom. That's what Chris is talking about, freedom. He doesn't have that now, but he can get it if he learns how to get it and apply what I can teach him. Chris, you mentioned a phone consultation. I usually do 30-minute consultations, guys. So if you want to jump on the phone, do a 30-minute consult. Again, email me at service@jumpingjackmovers.com. I don't know when this is going to re-air, but I appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate everybody watching. I know you guys are busy, and I want you to stay busy. But last story I'm going to share. I can really do funny stories. I know you guys have been through it. And if you have a question or comment, drop it real quick, because I only got like 2-3 minutes. So I was out there, and nobody showed up. So I know you guys been through this, because I always say, if you're one phone call away or one no answer away from being in that driver's seat on the truck, you're too small. You're not going to make it. You're going to be out of business. You never want to be one call away. I'll say it even better. In business, you never want to have somebody leverage you that much. That's too much power that one person has to not show up and destroy your whole moving day. One person not coming in can throw your whole day off. That's too much leverage for them. They have too much power. That's too much power. Hang tight, guys. So that's too much power. That's all I'm trying to tell you. That's too much power. You never want one person or one thing. That's why I'm always big on, hey, you never want to have access to only one truck. Why? Because a flat tire, damaged truck, anything can put you completely out of business. That's too much leverage. Get a second truck. Get a smaller truck. Have a hookup to be able to rent trucks as needed. But you never want to have one thing control everything. That's too much leverage. Right? Get you a side piece. Truck. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about trucks, right? And crews. Have your side piece. Nobody's going to tell you this in coaching. Have your side piece. For crews, for trucks. Have a side piece, right? And so I was out there at 11 o'clock. 9 o'clock. And it's my hands. So y'all going to know I'm telling the truth when I say this. My hands was cramping. My elbow, like all the way up to my elbow was cramping. It was so bad. I remember I went to pick up a lamp. You know how light lamps are. Because I felt the cramping come out, and I'm drinking. I'm like, man, something's wrong. I've been out here too long. I was literally out there at that point, probably like 13 straight hours, sweating profusely, chafed everywhere. You know what I'm talking about. I'm chafed everywhere. I started bringing Vaseline to jobs. I was getting chafed so much. Oh, you walking funny. When I see you do that, man, I'm like, oh, I already know. And Chris, if I see you walking funny, I'm like, oh my God, we've been out here too long. My boy's shaved. We're struggling to even walk. And so what I did was this. I told my guy, I was like, Ahmad, we're just halfway finished. Every time I touch something, my hand cramps. I can't pick up anything. I say, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go in there since it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to tell her the office is closed. Now, keep in mind, we don't have an office. It's just us. We're working out of an Albertsons parking lot. It's just us. Look, somebody said, Rambo said, add a little salt to your water to keep you hydrated. Little tip from the boys in Zona, man. I got an ex live out in Arizona. Sound like a country song, man. Sweetheart. I came out there last year, spent some time. I love the city, man. I love Arizona. So, and so that's a good tip, man. I hope you guys got that. Now, this is when I was first starting, so I ain't know anything. He said, add a little salt to your water. The only thing with that, though, for me, Rambo, because I'm older, is I worry about the high blood pressure. I guess for the younger people, it'll be okay. But other than the salt, there may be something else. Like if you're worried about blood pressure, I don't have blood pressure issues. But it does fluctuate sometimes to where I have to monitor it. So, but thankfully, man, I'm not out there at all, right? I'm about to go into this academy and find myself a basketball. I know I'm gonna probably spend like $80 on a basketball, but that's fine because my business make the money. I'll just check with them later today and say how we did. Oh, we did this and bet. All right, let's go. We're good. And that's what you want to build. You don't want to be there doing all the work. So, last story. And so I'm out there at 9 o'clock. So this is the God honest truth. I don't lie to you. I don't make stuff up. I'm not that guy. I'm all about integrity. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm always I always say there's two good news and two good news is bad grammar, good teaching. The second good news is that you can start a business, be successful, and make a lot of money and take care of yourself. The first good news is that Jesus Christ is died for you and paid the price for your sin, and you can spend eternity in heaven. That's the real good news. But back to the story real quick. And here's what happened. So we were out there, and it was 9 o'clock. So I said, Ahmad, he's a big dude, like 6'4", young cat. He's going. But I'm tired because I was at the first job, and I'm starting to cramp up. Because y'all know I'm telling the truth. And you could feel the little cramps coming. I had never felt that before. I was like, oh, whoa, every time I touch something, my muscles are cramping. I was like, it got to the point where I was like, dude, I don't even think I could pick up paper or a cup without feeling it. So I knew I was done. So I said, man, we're supposed to be out here and finish this job. I got a plan. I'm going to go in here and tell this lady this. The office is closed. By the way, big tip, never tell the customer that you're the owner. That's why I hate naming businesses after you. Never do that. Rename your business today. Never tell a customer you're the owner. Why? Because if they know they're talking to the top guy or girl, then all they have to do is win you or beat you at whatever game they want to play. Friendly game, you messed up game. I wanted to leave a good review, but you guys broke some stuff. Can I get some money back? Please stop telling them that. Here's what you tell them from now on this free game. Here's what you tell the customer from now on. You are the regional manager. That's all you are. You're the regional manager. Why? Because it takes the pressure off of you as the owner. And number two, it implies that you're a big company and you have more than one office. That's what regional implies. Learn that here. Please do that. That's worth the thumbs up by itself. And so I said, hey, Ahmad, I'm going to walk in here and tell this lady. I'm going to tell her that after 9 o'clock, we're 200 out because we were charging only 100 an hour. You should be at 150 an hour minimum now. I said we're gonna, and that's for a 2-man crew. And I said I'm gonna tell her we're gonna charge her. It's 200 an hour for anything after 9 o'clock, and the office is closed. She can't call the office to check. Now, if she would have known I was the owner, it would have been an issue. But because she didn't, she couldn't call the office. She could only take my word. And I got the phone in my pocket, not in my pocket, but in the truck. Nobody's gonna answer. And so, by the way, if you're starting out, here's another tip. Please don't use your personal phone. Go buy a prepaid phone. That's all you need. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need an office phone. Your job's going to be conducted everywhere you go. You might be in Chuck E. Cheese and get a call and book it. So please, and I'll give you some other stuff, but I don't want to flood y'all with some things. Right? Giving quotes too early, talking about price. You better watch my videos and get some coaching. And so what happened is, so I went in, I was like, hey, ma'am, listen, by the way, sweet lady, but I was done. Like we say in Louisiana, I was hit. I had nothing left in me. I was hit. And all I wanted to do is go home. I didn't even want the money. That's what happens when you build a job and not a business. So I went in there and was like, ma'am, listen, after 9 o'clock, it's $200 an hour. They told me to tell you the office is closed. Everybody's gone, $200 an hour for after hours. I said, but here's what we could do. This is what I was betting on. I was like, no way she paying $200. Here's what I'm betting on. I said, ma'am, but we can stop now, come back 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning and finish the job. She said, give me just a second, will you? This lady went, sweet lady, I hate to do it to her, but I didn't have anything left in the tank. She came back and she said, okay, guys. And I was like, all right, we out of here, Ma. We'll come back in the morning. She was like, we can keep going. Oh my God, you should have saw my face. Like all my insides died. I was like, oh my God. So me and Amar went to the truck. I was like, Amar, I got nothing. Nothing. I was like, bro, I can't touch anything because I think it was my left hand. I'm grabbing everything with my right? Because that's the only one that's still working. And I'm talking about this mover crazy. Vibrators going off in the desk when you move. This ain't never happened to me, but before, that was the first time that ever happened. We were moving her desk, her end table from the bedroom. I was like, what the hell is that? Oh my God, vibrators going off while I guess we shook it too hard. I don't know. This is crazy. I should tell more of these stories. And because I got some crazy stories. And she, so apparently she wasn't the one paying for it. That was my mistake. It was somebody else that was paying for it, sponsoring her move. And she went and made a phone call and they said, go. Oh my gosh, we didn't leave till 3 o'clock that morning. We went another 6 hours. We were obviously on a job that should have had 3 or 4 people. We had no idea what we were doing. This was just the beginning. We did make a lot of money, but I'm telling you, for 2 days, I could barely move. So Chris, I don't want you to go through that, man. I don't want you to go through that. So guys, if you're interested in coaching, if you want to get a consulting call or you're interested in getting the masterclass or the coaching, I'm going to put the link in the comments below. It'll be there when this video airs. I don't know when. If you want to get the link though, you can email me at service@jumpingjackmovers.com, or you can watch my last video. It's going to have because the link to the masterclass is in the first comment on all my videos. So go back and check it out. Awesome. San Diego Mover said I've been there. See, I'm telling you the truth, guys. I'm not making this stuff up. So all I want to do is help you to get in a position. Listen, get the shortcut. I'll leave you with that. Don't go through making the mistakes. Don't go through it. Get the shortcut, get mentoring, get coaching, get a consult. Whether it's from me, does not matter. Whether it's somebody else, does not matter. All I'm telling you is get the information you don't have. Get the wisdom you don't have, right? Learn to build a business. Stop working these jobs. You're going to burn out. There ain't no amount of money that's going to save you. When you burn out mentally, when you check out mentally, your business is done. Am I right, Chris? I know what I'm talking about. I was ready to turn down money, $200 an hour, just to go home. I could have said, she could have offered $300 an hour. I would have still tried to go home. Think of that. You don't want to be in that position. So if you want to consult, 30-minute consult, we'll go over your business. If you want to get coaching, get the masterclass, you'll get the coaching with it. It's on sale, it's very affordable. Grab it. But message me at service@jumpingjackmovers.com. Otherwise, watch the previous video, click the first comment, and then the first comment, you'll see the link to the masterclass. I'll drop it here. I just don't know when this is going to air. I'm still learning YouTube, but I'm out here trying to give you guys information I don't think anybody else is giving. Anyway, I hope this helped you. I hope this bless you. Have a wonderful, amazing day. And for those who want coaching and mentorship, I'll see you in the training. Peace.